Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome to Talk Gertie to Me, the Charm Patterns podcast, where we chat vintage glamour, sewing, creative rabbit holes, and fashion history, all through a campy, queer, and feminist pop culture lens. So throw on your favorite silk robe, grab a mocktail, and let's get started. Hello, everyone. I'm Gertie, also known as Gretchen Hirsch. I am here sitting on the annex floor, sitting crisscross with my co-host, Andrea.
Hi.
And our special guest, our first ever on this podcast guest, Miss Susie Dahl.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here chit-chatting, ready for a little girl talk.
This is so much fun.
It's
already
so much fun. Yeah, we've been sitting here chatting for like half an hour, and we decided maybe we should turn the mic on. And it should also be known that Millie is laying on her back in the middle of all three of us, asking for belly rubs.
Yes.
So, Susie, my first question for you is, on our first episode, I talked a little bit about like the Gertie versus Gretchen duality in my life. And I feel like you have a similar thing because your real name is Susan, and we're used to calling you that at this point. But your online persona and your burlesque persona is Susie Dahl.
Yes.
So tell us more about that and the two personalities.
And it's so funny because I was having a conversation with another burlesque performer about the separation of, your real life and then like the on stage, online persona. And I was like, wondering, I'm like, is there a difference between Susan and Susie? And I'm like, actually, there is. And I was actually also thinking about that in the shower this morning because I just was like, oh, that's what you do in the shower. Just think about life. Have these existential questions you ask yourself.
Who am I?
Who am I? But yeah, I feel like Susie is very much glamorous, like no holds barred, bad bitch, just, the world is her oyster, like anything she wants, she can have it, like she's mesmerizing. Then there's Susan, who's very dorky, like very silly, full of millennial ADHD and just very silly. But like there's an interesting intersection of the two. Just being like, I am a little hammy, but I think it's also like, is this a defense mechanism? I'm like just being silly to shield. I'm very much an extroverted introvert. Like the social battery can run out. Like I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
But if there was a bigger crowd, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to retreat now. I'm just going to go in this corner and just like dance because, self-soothing mechanism.
You do dance constantly. It never ever ends. And I love that about you.
I do have to hold it together during a fitting. I'm like, okay, I just have to not move for like 2 minutes before Andrea is like, I'm going to poke you with
Andrea has a very stern fitting voice where she's like, stay still.
I'm just like, okay.
I think you said dorkiness, but I actually think it's like cool nerdness. Because you're into like all this, like, I'm also into like nerdy comic books and all that kind of stuff. And
Yes.
It's like a little secret part of Susan that sometimes makes its way into Susie Dahl.
It truly does. Actually, I do have an act where I highlight all of the fictional men that I have crushes on. It's a very unhinged act and it does bring me joy. It's the most un-Susie act, which is kind of funny. It's outside of the rhinestones and the sequins and like the very prim, polished glamour. So it's a nice fun escape because it's very unhinged. It's very
Well, I love your whole burlesque persona. And you're like an amazing host too, which I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that about you, or wouldn't have known until we saw your show at the Ripped Goddess. And yeah, you just have such an easy way about you, and you're really good at facilitating and hosting and introducing people.
Yeah, I think like bringing people in so like the whole room feels really comfortable and is having a good time, and you're there to just facilitate that, and it always feels really good. I mean, I feel like at photo shoots when we've got big crowds, you like step in as part of charm and just keep the vibe chill.
Like, just keep the vibes chill.
Yeah.
And I think that's, again, the intersection of Susie and Susan, where it's like, I'm hosting, I'm just chatting, and it's like getting people a glimpse of my actual personality. And again, it can be a little unhinged, it could be a little, como se dice, a little filthy.
Yeah, it's like people are always really shocked when Gertie swears,
Right.
you know, but Gretchen swears quite a bit. So
Yes.
sometimes the line gets crossed.
The lines blur.
You should hear our tests.
Oh my God, I know. We
The
do like
blooper
a
reel.
quick like audio test, and I always have the wrong microphone on, by the way. And we're like, why does it sound so bad? And yeah, I just swear like a sailor, and I figure out how to connect the correct mic, and then we move on.
And then we're on the right track again.
So, Susie, you have been modeling for Charm for what, 8 years now? 7 or 8 years?
7, I think it's about right.
Yeah, because
Like,
we met
wow.
in 2017.
Yes.
And people always ask us this, how we met. And we don't have to tell the whole story today because I feel like we've told it quite a few times.
Yes.
But we met at
Give the bullet points.
the bullet. I mean, the like long story short is that we met in the bathroom.
Yes.
And I at a convention. It was
Yes.
Viva East, which
Yes.
no longer exists.
Does not exist anymore.
We were in Massachusetts.
Yes.
You were in the pinup contest, which you won.
I did win. It was my first pinup contest that I ever won. And that was very exciting and cool and interesting.
And I was there doing like, I was doing a series of lectures or something.
I agree, because like I had friends who were there. They're like, "Oh, like I love to sew, and Gertie is here doing classes." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I'm not sure who that is because I wasn't a sewer, so I had no clue. But I was like, "Okay, cool, have fun, just
Like-
going about my business."
Like a TED talk or something?
Kind of, yeah. Like
Enjoy sewing?
Well, we were in like a hotel. It was like a Marriott or
Yes.
it was like a or a Hampton Inn or something. It was
Something
not
like
that
that.
glamorous.
That seems very not the way I think of Viva from what I know about it now.
Well, this
so-
was Viva
It's a-
East.
it's
Okay,
just
yeah.
separate.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So they set me up with this little like, it was almost like a tiny little auditorium
Oh my God.
with raked seats and stuff, but it maybe sat 50 people. Okay. And I did this like once a day. People came in, I had like sample garments, and I was talking about what I do and like just like a little just give a talk about sewing.
Wow.
Yeah. And so anyway, Susie won the car show, and I saw you in the bathroom, and I was like a little starstruck because I was like, that's like the queen of the car show.
And it's funny because I was just like in a blur because I had a wardrobe malfunction earlier, so I had to get another dress, and it was a whole thing. And I'm just still just like, couldn't believe I won. And hilariously, circling back to the blooper reel that you guys may or may not hear, the question that was asked to me was, what's something that people wouldn't realize about you? And I was like, I'm a big wrestling fan. So like, crowd went wild, and I think that kind of hilariously solidified
That sealed
the
the
win.
deal. You're a pro wrestling fan?
Right, because people are surprised when I tell them these things.
I think it's probably fair to say that no other pinup contest contestant has said that as their fun fact.
Right.
So I can see why that would win it for you.
Yeah, that's awfully fun. I wouldn't picture you as a real WWE fan, but I love knowing that you are.
Yes.
So then we had a funny turn of events where I was doing the very first photo shoot for Charm ever for the Rita blouse and the Glamour dress. And it was just me modeling. And I hired for the first time Shameless Pinup. And I show up at this shoot, and they had arranged hair and makeup for me. At that point, I didn't have any contacts or anything. And I show up, and who was doing my makeup but Ms. Susie Dahl.
Which was, again, such a treat because I think it was like maybe a week or two after Viva East. So we were both like, hey, I know you. And which was really cool. And it was so funny because, Angela, who was running the East Coast studio at the time for Shameless, she was like, we have a big client coming in. And she usually tells everybody to like dress up because I like to be like cutesy or whatever. But that day I was like super in bum mode. So I was like, I'll just wear some jeans, whatever. And I was like, oh, I should have come correct, but it was fine.
It was
That's
fine.
fine.
But I think that's a fun fact that a lot of people don't know about Charm is that you were the makeup artist on the first ever Charm pattern shoot.
Yeah. So it's been fun to be so involved in this little way of Charm moving through the years, and it's been really cool.
So I think that people are going to be interested in your background as a makeup artist. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So basically, I've always, again, just been a fan of the transformative power that makeup has, and how even just a little lipstick or like having your eyebrows done can just change your outlook for the day. And I actually went to school for journalism and public relations and minoring in fashion merchandising.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I feel like you just dropped that. Like, it's no big deal.
I mean,
Where are you taking this from us?
it's so funny because like that part of my life is so behind me because I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a makeup artist. Like I wanted to go to beauty school, but my family was like, no, go to college. And, you know, I went to a prestigious university, Howard University, for anyone who's
Ooh la
listening.
la.
Which great, wonderful, cool. But it's not where my heart lied. So out of school, I got my first job at a nonprofit in their fundraising department. And after a while, I was like, I actually hate this. Let me kind of take a leap, which was prompted because I actually got fired from that job. So,
Who would fire you?
girl, that's a story for another day.
Story for another day.
Season 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So I, was like, well, I guess this is no better time than to start trying my hand at makeup artistry than working at a counter. Actually, my first job in 2009 in makeup was at an Estee Lauder counter. So
Wow.
that was fun. So like working my way through, doing the makeup counter thing, and then maybe about 2014 is where I started working on set assisting other makeup artists. So like that was really fun trying, build my portfolio then. And yeah, working my way through working in TV and, no longer assisting. So that was really fun and exciting. Not stable, but very exciting. And yeah, it's really fun. I loved working on TV. My last before the panini,
As we call it.
yes, before the world crumbled. In 2019 was the last big show I worked on for a Disney Plus show, which was really cool.
Oh,
So,
wow.
like working my way through and also realizing just there are so many different temperaments in entertainment. And when you are seemingly quiet, people think that they can boss you around or kind of treat you, in a subpar manner. And I had an agency that didn't let me promote myself like I should, so I wasn't able to book myself other jobs, and it was a whole to do. So thankfully the pandemic came along and kind of made me shift gears as far as what I want to do. So I started moving into the luxury jewelry realm in 2022, and I've been on that track ever since. So
I know, you have an exciting new career.
it's been really fun and unexpected. Like, I didn't picture myself. I was like, well, I'm just going to kind of keep being, doing the starving artist thing. And I'm like, when I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun and rewarding and continuously interesting. Like, I feel like in all these weird ways, I find myself in these really cool environments, like being with Charm and makeup, and now like in the jewelry industry. So I've led a number of lives, and it's been very interesting.
I feel like the through line for you, though, is like you have to have glamour in your life.
Yes.
Whether it's makeup or diamonds or whatever. You're not going to work a job just for benefits. Like, it has to have some sparkle.
That's interesting. 'Cause, like, that's so true. Like, it has to be something that stimulates me, because I feel like, I don't know, if there are any astrology girlies out there. I am a Taurus, so I do enjoy luxury and just pretty things. So it all kind of makes sense. Because I'm like, yeah, like, my father works in the auto industry, and it's like, yeah, I could have been an administrative assistant at Ford, but I'm like, I would want to like set everything on fire. I'm like, I can't on board.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's the wild world of Susan.
So, Andrea, do you have any makeup questions you want to ask Susan?
Okay. I go through cycles in my life where I wear makeup and then I don't wear makeup. These cycles can last a decade. And my skincare regime involves me occasionally washing my face.
Yeah.
That's sum total what I do. And a couple years ago, I started asking Susie, like, what kind of moisturizer should I get at the drugstore? And Susie would guide me, and now I have a good face wash and a good moisturizer. And I'm a lady. What's the eyeliner that you just had me get?
The NYX Epic Ink Liner.
Oh my
It's
god,
the best.
It's-
It's my favorite too.
Wonderful.
it's amazing. Usually, I mean, like, please, Gertie and Susie, just go on and talk. When they talk about this eyeliner, it's like I can see the hearts forming above your head.
It's like cheap. I have it on
Yes.
subscribe and save from
Same.
Amazon.
Same.
Like, it's just a solid eyeliner.
It's so smooth.
Yeah.
It does last. It's nearly bulletproof. Like,
I got it because I tried another eyeliner and it was really nice, but it was more expensive, and I thought it had to be expensive. And then you guys were like, "What are you doing, girl? Like, you don't need to spend that money."
absolutely
And
not.
I love this eyeliner, except that I don't have a mirror that makes it easy for me to see.
Okay.
Because I have to wear glasses because I can't see anything without them.
Well, we have declining vision.
This is all
I
constant
think
talk.
this is like we're all having it.
Yeah,
That charm.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I do think reading glasses are probably on the horizon for me. Like, I turned 40 and my body was like, hey.
Yeah.
And
let's
about
relax.
this.
Let's relax a little.
Yeah.
Let someone help us out.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing is I still need you to teach me like how to do a
Yes.
wing because
Susie's wing is always flawless.
it's flawless.
Yeah.
This has
so beautiful between that and your eyebrows, girl.
I mean, this is, again, decades of practice. Well, maybe not decades. It was 1 decade of practice.
Just one.
Maybe just one. But, like, so much practice. And also finding the right things. Like, I feel like I've used cream eyeliner. And, like, that's fine. But sometimes it smudges, doesn't last as long. And then using, like, different types of brushes for that. It's like, okay, this works. This isn't great. So it's so much trial and error. So it's very exciting when you find the thing that works. I will shout it from the rooftops. Also, I feel like we've talked about this once before, but I am a big purveyor of buying your beauty products in bulk.
Yes, I know, because we had an incident just recently where you told us about your favorite ever eyeshadow palette. And then I went to buy it and it had been discontinued. And I had to give you that news.
My heart sank to the ground. I was like, oh, I need to contact Trissy Cosmetics and be like, please bring back Bottle Blonde. I know I already have 2, like, stash, but I need 1 more just to round out the stash. But yeah, especially with the beauty industry, like, anything can discontinued in the blink of an eye. So I would say if you like it and if it is fiscally, something you're able to do, buy a bulk, buy a couple, just to make sure you have it if you really love it.
Well, you mentioned Trixie Cosmetics, and I know you love them, and I feel like a lot of those brands rely on the limited release, right, to drum up the interest, and then it goes away.
It's just so hurtful. Like, it's just very hurtful.
Offensive.
It's offensive. But the Bottle Blonde palette in particular is so specific. It has like beautiful lavenders, like some deep purples, some pinks, and those are so many of the colors I use, especially for burlesque. Like, so that is a go-to, but I'm just gonna have to use it sparingly. I don't care how many I have in the stack.
An American tragedy.
Yeah.
What lipstick do you use?
It varies. Like, I've been all over a journey. Like, so for reds, I do love Trixie Cosmetics Red Scare. Like, that's a go-to. I also really love Pat McGrath's McGrath Red.
Oh.
That's what I usually use during the
Really?
shoot. So
Oh,
you
I
heard it here
know.
first, guys.
McGrath red.
Yes. It's like a beautiful, like, orangey red situation because Elson's more blue red.
That's the one I get.
Yes.
And I remember you gave me a tube of Elson for my birthday a couple years ago.
Yes.
That's a really beautiful blue. Blue red.
It's really good. So those are like my two go-tos. But also, I do highly recommend, and I think they still make this, ColourPop. They're liquid lipsticks. They have some good reds. So if you want something that's a little lower in price, those are really good. Like, I love those.
Okay.
Wow.
Good to know.
Yes.
Okay. So next up, I would love you to give our listeners sort of like a behind the scenes glimpse at what it's like to model for Charm.
Yeah. Aside from obviously being super fun, again, I'm just hanging with my friends all day.
They are really fun days.
Yes, it's really fun. But there is, of course, business still being tended to. So usually our shoot day started about 7 a.m. That's when the call time is to get to the studio and start preparing for
So
hair
we
and makeup.
start the night before on my couch
Yes,
with tea, and you usually bring some sort of goodie.
that is true. Like, we have like a pregame, like, tea and treat ketchup.
Yeah,
So,
and that's how you know a photo shoot is about to happen.
yes.
Okay, and then the next day we have
the
a
next
7
day's
a.m.
business.
call.
Yes,
Yes,
7
all
a.m.
business.
call. So we get ready. Usually Gretchen starts with Stevie with hair, and then I start doing my makeup. First we greet Elvira when we get into the studio.
Oh, very
'Cause
important.
We can't forget that.
You
'cause
can't ignore her.
She's at the door waiting.
She's waiting.
She's waiting.
She wants attention.
Yes, so we greet Elvira, then we get started. So, doing hair, I'm doing my makeup, and then we switch so that I hop in the chair with Stevie and get my, usually a wig on. Then we see if there's any, like, last minute kind of tweaks that might need to be made to my outfits. Because if you've been following along in this charm journey, you might have heard mention that I'm a little short-waisted.
Just a little.
Just a little.
I feel like we're not blowing up your spot with that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You're small.
I'm
I'm small too.
yes. I am of Sabrina Carpenter height proportions. Just a little. So we just have to have a couple of tweaks done, which again is totally normal. So if you're finding that in your sewing journey, you have to just make some tweaks, like, it's okay. Like, it's part of the journey because everybody's body's different.
Susan does have the most dramatic sway back we've ever done for anyone.
So funny.
Yeah, not to put you on blast, but like
It's totally fine.
Susan needs like a 3-inch sway back.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
I feel like it's like 3 to 5 sometimes.
biases, yeah.
Yes. Which, again, not putting them on the spot. It's just the truth. And it's
Well,
fine.
so the other really lucky thing is that because we custom fit all your clothes, like people ask me why we don't sell the term archive all the time, and it's like because it's for someone who's 5 feet tall,
Yeah.
who like everything's
3-inch
custom,
sway back.
has a
Yeah.
3-inch sway back. Like, everything is so custom fit.
It's very specific, guys. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's great for us because you come up the week before.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
And,
So like
you know,
today,
like
for instance,
today,
was
we-
a fitting and now podcasting day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's always fun too, because then we're like, we start late. It's a little more casual.
Have tacos.
Yeah, and
Yes.
like do all the fittings so that we now in the next week we'll make all your samples.
Yes. And so that everything is ready to put on, and I get super excited. Like, I even get very excited trying on the samples because I'm just like, I see the vision. This is going to
You
be
do.
amazing.
You always seem to love what we make for you.
I
which
honestly
is a good
do.
feeling.
I am like the #1 hype woman for charm because I honestly love everything. I might have like favorites, but across the board I'm like, yes, like this is so cute. Especially being like a curvy plus size girl. So I don't have to think about it when I come up here. I'm like, I know it's gonna fit, it's fine.
It's true. It's gonna
Yeah.
be custom fit.
Yes. I'm very blessed and spoiled in that manner.
Well, one thing that I feel like our customers always say about you, and they love to see you, as you know, you're like a celebrity in the charm community.
Aw.
But I always hear people say that they love seeing you in our clothes because then they have a sense of how they're going to look because they have a body type more similar to yours or, you know, like or a similar height or whatever it is. So I love hearing people say that to you.
It is really cool and very humbling in a good way because I'm just like, oh, like I joke with everyone in the studio that I'm just like a walking, talking mannequin. I was like, I'm here to, you know, make sure the clothes look the way they're supposed to. It's not something that always crosses my mind, like, oh, I'm going to inspire people to do a thing. So it's always like really cool when I pop up at a retreat. Like sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy I saw you in this because now like I had the confidence to make it myself. And shout out to Moira, who is awesome, and we follow each other for a long time, and she's a longtime patron of Charm. And she was like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have tried, you know, any of these, you know, certain silhouettes. And I'm like, you know, that's really cool to hear. Because again, I'm like, you know, I just want to wear pretty clothes, but it sometimes becomes more than that, which is really awesome. So I'm happy to help in this little teeny tiny microscopic way.
Yeah, I mean, it really means a lot to people.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. I was like, I'm so awkward. I'm like, oh, like something I need to process. I'm just like, oh no, I have to accept the compliment.
This is like the Susie. Like,
Yes.
Susan's like, oh no, compliments.
Right, I'm like, oh God, help.
But Susie, like, you put her in front of a camera, and I'm like, well, I can go sit down somewhere. She's just gonna do it.
You're an amazing model. And we haven't, yeah, like, the first time you modeled for me would have been, what, like 2018
Yes,
maybe?
for a little more.
Yes, the Glamour.
Yes.
And I remember like when we were, so Shameless recommended you.
Yes.
And I was looking for a plus size model and they recommended you. And I was like, oh, I love that idea because I met you, you done my makeup. And then we started doing fittings in the weirdest places.
Yes.
Remember how we met at the Nordstrom or Bloomingdale's Ladies Lounge? Yes. We would be like in a stall, like fitting a Glamour bottom.
Yes. I was like, I know a place. Like, here
You guys are like, you're fake taking in like 6 garments with you. Like, oh yeah, we have to go just try them all on together.
Right.
No, we were like in the bathroom.
In the bed.
We were in a stall.
Oh my gosh, I've misunderstood the story. Oh,
The Ladies Lounge.
so much.
On the 4th floor at the Bloomingdale's on 60th Street in the city.
Yeah,
Oh
you need
my
to pee.
gosh.
Like when you're in the city in that neighborhood, it's like the nicest place to
It's,
go.
yeah, I was like, again, the
Or
fourth,
do a fitting.
right. I always recommend the 4th floor is the nicest bathroom.
So we met there, and I remember one of the first fittings I did with you, you were wearing like all leopard print. You
Yes.
had a leopard print hat, a leopard print scarf. You were just like discarding all of, it was winter, and you were just like discarding all of these leopard print items. And I was like, okay, I'm getting a feel. And so one of the first things I made you was the leopard Glamour dress.
Yes.
Which just, I mean, the first time you modeled for Charm, I was like, this woman is very special because you're like you are like a little doll. And I was like having so much fun, like putting hats on you and hair flowers and dressing you up.
And I'm just living. I'm like, oh, yay, that's Glamour.
Yeah.
And I still love that Glamour. It's still in my closet. It's like near and dear to my heart. I'm
That
like,
that had to become yours.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, this is your dress.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
Select
I'm just-
items that have to,
Yes. Like sometimes I'm like, do you guys need this for the archive? Or can I just borrow it real quick?
And the Liz dress was another one that we fit on you pretty early.
Yes.
And that was a challenge. You saw some really gnarly first straps of the Liz dress.
Behind the veil. Like,
Oh my God. We did some surgery on those cups.
yes. But in the end, it was so beautiful, as expected. Like, also just, so good. So good.
I can't imagine a Charm without you. You know what I mean? Like
No.
every now and then you can't come to a shoot and it's not the same.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And people notice, you know, like, where's Susie this month?
Oh,
I see Susie.
We
Oh
do
my-
our best to accommodate your fancy career.
I greatly appreciate it because again, I'm like the most unfussy. Like again, Susie, very fussy. Susan, I'm just like, what can I do to help? Like, I'll put this away.
I
Like,
know. You're like,
Gosh.
you're
yeah.
like taking out the trash for us. That's like the one thing I feel like people need to know about Susie. Is she's like always helping. She's one of those people who's like, what can I do in this space to make it better?
I draw the line at taking out.
We don't want to take out the trash.
I can't always stop you from putting away all the earrings and this, because you can imagine it gets a little wild when we're in the styling moment and like there's just like earrings everywhere.
Hats, handbags.
Yeah, and like
lavender earrings.
Yeah, earrings. A beret with a hair flower. So yeah.
Not only, you know, are you my friends, like I appreciate, respect the business, and I'm like, what can I do? Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here scrolling on Instagram. I could be doing something productive, and like I'll just, you know, see what I can do to help. Because again, like at work, I do so much of that anyway, so I think it's like second nature. So I'm like, oh, I'll just put these things away. It's fine. Like keep the momentum going so that everybody can breathe a little bit easier at least, or not have to think about it.
Well, you also have to be best friends with Millie every time you come.
Obviously.
It's very important.
It's very important. The greeting she gave me, we just stared at each other like,
is it really you?
I'm like, it is me. Is it you?
Is it really you? So you dabble in sewing a little bit.
A little bit. I've been out of practice, sadly, because my day job's been a little bit busy. So by the time I come home, I'm like, I don't want to think. But I do enjoy sewing when I can. Like I've been trying to do like a lot of the easier charm and Patreon patterns when I can. Like I've whipped up a few Barbies. Like I've done a couple of Stanwyck circle skirts. I have delusions of grandeur with wanting to make a Bryant, which I'm like, I have the fabric for it, but I'm like still put on the back burner. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, but
you do have like 2 personal sewing tutors right
which
here.
I know.
I'm very faithful and again super spoiled. I'm like, all right, I can do it. That's also the great thing. If I have questions and I'm like, what does this mean? Please help.
What is this?
I will take pictures. I'm like, why does this look like this?
Well, and you very sweetly ask at every photo shoot, say, how hard is this one to do?
Yes, every time. I'm just like, so how many dots on the charm scale is this? And I always get a nice honest, like, oh, like this, like, you know, 1 or 2, or like, this is a 4. This is a 5. I was
This
like,
is later, Susan.
I'm like, great, I will leave it alone for now. But yeah, so I'm dabbling. Hopefully this summer I at least kind of get back to my list of projects that I've been wanting to do and knock some things out.
What are things that you found like surprisingly difficult about sewing that like you would tell someone who is coming into it? What's like the part that you hate about it? We all have something we hate about sewing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing I hate the most, well, I don't know, hate might be a strong word, but like the more uncomfortable parts is, you know, around the idea that it's okay to like rip something apart and start over because it's just fabric.
Yeah.
Because the instinct is like, no, I want it to be right the first time. Like, I want to be good at this because I'm a ridiculous perfectionist. But I think allowing myself to think about it as like, it is just fabric. It's going to be okay. It's just like, all right, fine. If I don't get the stitch perfect, it's fine. Also, I find sometimes a stitch will skip, and I'm like, but what am I doing to like, how do I fix this? And I'm so confused. And I just take a little beat and I'm like, okay, let me just leave it alone. But I think those are the things that like make me sad. Cause I'm like, I have so much momentum and I look and I'm like, no, this one's like out of here.
You do have to be willing to be really bad at sewing for a while.
Yeah,
you
right.
say, like just sucking.
Okay.
And then just continuing to suck. And then one day you'll be like, oh, I don't think this sucks.
Gotcha.
Well, yeah, and it's just, I think what you're saying is so important about people who are starting their sewing journey, which is that if, like many people who sew, I've found, were and are overachievers. And the idea of being bad at something or of like, it's like as if you put on something and where like some kind of like fire alarm is going to go off that's going to tell everyone that it's not perfect.
Right.
It's just,
Right. It's
you
just
know?
fabric.
And I used to say to all my students, and I still say to all the retreat people, like, because they're just, they're so worried about it not being perfect. And I'm like, it's never going to be perfect. And also, we're not brain surgeons. No one is on the operating table.
Right.
You're making a dress. Like, it's okay.
Right. And I think the problem has been because every time I'm trying to make something in a short amount of time, like I'm trying to make a costume or something ridiculous, that's when I'm like, oh God, like everything is going haywire. The pressure's on. But when I'm just sewing without a deadline, I'm like, oh, this is nice. I can take my time.
I relate to that story.
Yeah. We're often sewing on a deadline.
Often. AKA always.
Yeah.
For every 3 weeks.
Yeah. For us, it's like, well, it has to be fast and it has to be good. I have to sometimes, like, if I'm going too fast or I get distracted and I look to the side, I'm like, my seam isn't perfect. Well, then you have to pull out the seam ripper and just seam rip it open again and yell and complain about cutting chiffon and move on with your life.
I've never complained about cutting chiffon. I don't know why you looked at me when you said that.
Yeah.
I've learned that sewing chiffon is not easy. I was like, what have I done? What have I done?
So tell everyone about your fabric by the pound place that you shop at. I feel like our community wants to hear this.
So there's a great place in Brooklyn, as well as they also have a location in Philly now, I believe. It's called Fab Scrap. So basically what they do is they reclaim fabric that is, about to be thrown out by like major designers and other companies. So they rescue it and then resell it. So they not only do fabric by the yard there, but they also have a by the pound option, which I have found much success with. And I have started my little stash of fabric through that. And you're also able to volunteer with the organization. So like I think like if you volunteer a certain amount of hours, you're able to get like 5 pounds for free or something of that nature, which is pretty cool. It's a great place. I know I've never been to the Philly location, but the one in Brooklyn, it's at the Navy Yard. So like you're going through the warehouse, like up. It's so unassuming. You wouldn't think there's a fabric like situation going on in this place. So you have to go down this corridor where like there used to be subway trains and like a tunnel, and it's a whole to do. Like it's a secret like little situation, but
it's like
it's
Hogwarts.
Yes,
for fabric.
It's literally Hogwarts for fabric, and it is great. They also have sales a couple times a year, and they also have options on their website, which reminds me that I need to order some of that silver sequin fabric they had on there. Don't buy it before me.
We'll make sure you get it.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about burlesque and your burlesque journey, because that's the other glamorous thing you do.
Oh gosh, yes. So I've actually, I always joke that pinup and vintage is like the gateway to burlesque for the most part, especially if you're a fan of like mid-century glamour. So
just have to take your clothes off at some point.
You just have to get naked.
It's going to happen sooner than later.
It's going to happen. So, warn your children, guys. Warn the children.
The gateway drug.
So I saw my first burlesque show in 2013. And that's actually the first time I modeled with Shameless Photography. So that was a transformative year for me as far as my identity, I guess, as like, a show lady. So that first show I saw was Dita Von Teese's Stripper Ray.
Oh, that was your first show?
I mean, the best of the best.
Yes.
I love her act so much.
So good.
Yes, it's so good.
Amazing. And it's funny because that's the same year I broke up with my then fiance. So I was like, I'm just going to be myself.
This is a pivotal year.
Pivotal. Very pivotal. So 2013, pivotal year. Saw my first burlesque show, did my first pinup modeling. So at this particular show, not only Dita was amazing, but there is also Dirty Martini, who is a plus-size burlesque performer. And I was like, this exists? I was like shocked because she was incredible. Not only shocked that she was incredible, it was shocking like, oh, this is a thing that is possible. I'm like, what? And then also in that same show was Pearl Noir, who is a very famous black burlesque performer. And I was like, what? Like, I'm like, so
Little Susie,
yes,
your childhood dreams.
my childhood dream. So mind
Glamour.
blown on so many fronts. So that kind of started planting the seed. At that time, I was like, oh, I just enjoy watching burlesque. I didn't really consider like going into it myself. So fast forward to like 2018, 2019, a very good friend of mine, Vera Sapphire, was also dabbling in burlesque. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll take a class at the New York School of Burlesque, which I had wanted to do for a number of years, but I kept putting it off. And then I finally, was like, oh, let me just take a class and see, what it's like. And then the rest is history. So I went headfirst into, enjoying it. Shout out to Jo Weldon, who is the proprietress of the New York School of Burlesque. And it's funny because so I did the program summer 2019, but I didn't do the student showcase immediately. I was like, oh, well, I'll just still stage kitten and kind of like work on an act, aka I was hiding until further notice.
A stage kitten, for our listeners who may not be burlesque people,
Yes.
describe what a stage kitten does.
So the stage kitten is basically like the stage manager of a burlesque show, and they're the person you see cleaning up the stripper clothes off the stage, and
Someone's got to pick up
the stripper
chaps
droppings.
whatever.
Exactly. Someone's got to do it. And it's a fun way to get used to being on stage for certain amounts of time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little training ground. And it's also really good to see how producers go about putting the shows together and also seeing other performers and what their process is. So I was enjoying that. And I was comfortable, again, it's so much of my Susan life being behind the scenes. And no, I don't want any attention on me. I'll be back here, just in the wings. So then finally about December of 2019, Jo, she came up to me because I was kittening for another student showcase. She was like, so you're doing the next showcase, right? And I was like, yes. So I was like, all right, Jo has requested that I finally get on stage and stop ducking and dodging. So I finally put together an act. It was the shortest song I could muster up. It's Hubcaps and Tail Lights by Henry Mancini. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm like, it's a nothing song. So I was like, you just put something together, and that's where my pink costume came into play, for the first time.
The gown.
No, pink gown, which is going to go through a strong metamorphosis, which I'm very excited about. So I finally, put together an act, hung out in the studio, and then did the showcase, and then again, the rest is history. I feel like the biggest thing that I have kind of learned in doing burlesque is it doesn't have to look the same every single time. So again, the audience, they're happy to be there. They don't know what's popping up. And when I first started, I was very much no, the choreography must be this every time. I can't miss a single beat. And I feel like that was starting to stunt me and not allow me to really enjoy, the performing aspect. And I learned over time that, have your certain points that you want to put emphasis on, then everything else just have a little fun. It doesn't have to be so stringent, because that, takes the fun part away from it.
I feel like that's deep life advice, but
It is.
Yeah.
That
felt really deep.
Yeah, that felt deep for me too.
It was really, it has enlightened me. I'm like, okay, as long as I unzip the dress here and then take the bra off there, everything else in between can be fun and improvised and make it really interesting for not only myself but for the audience. Because it's what's gonna come up next? Is she gonna sit on my lap? Is she gonna what's she gonna do? So yeah, that's been my burlesque adventure.
How
so
do you?
far.
I mean, the costume for me that would be the in.
Right.
I'm not tempted by this gateway drug for myself,
Right.
but I do want I want rhinestone pasties, and I don't know why.
Yes.
Do I
as
just
all women.
Yes.
as we all do?
I support this 100%.
Do I just wear them around my house? Or if I'm not going to get into this, like, how can I have rhinestone pasties too, Susan?
Just have them.
Just
like,
have them?
Just have them. I
Okay.
mean, just you either get them from a local purveyor, or you can make them.
My local pasty
Yes.
provider.
Local pasty provider.
Uh-huh.
Or like make them like making pasties is kind of fun. Like again, it's therapeutic. Like putting all the rhinestones on. I'm just like, yes, I'm making
Yeah.
a beautiful, ridiculous thing that like has one function. I love it.
So, are there any elements of burlesque costuming that you could see crossing over into charm?
Oh, definitely. Like
Hollywood Road.
Yes, like
Yes.
instant burlesque moment. Like
Yes.
especially if you're, using a sequin fabric or if you're doing something sheer with lots of ostrich feathers. Like you don't have to be on stage to have that moment. You're just walking around your house. Like I was in a robe yesterday, just like walking around. And my boyfriend's like, that's real fancy, cute. All right. It's real fancy. So it's like, little things like that. Actually, case in point, I actually used the Wanda skirt for my tiger costume. So that was like fun and also nerve-wracking because again, I was making this under the wire because I was like working at Hershey Park doing makeup at the time and coming back and forth on the weekends. That was a time.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to get this costume ready for a Halloween cat themed show.
As you do.
As one does. I was like, the Wanda skirt's perfect because already it's set up for a little bit of a zip action.
Oh,
so I was
yeah,
like,
that's
I'll
true.
just do a full down zipper for my big reveal for that. So that was fun. So even like little things like that, you can burlesquify a charm pattern. The Vargas panties, like,
Yeah.
like the panel is right for some rhinestones.
Yes.
Like, perfect for that.
Sheer moment on the sides.
Exactly. And again, my dream bryant dress, which is gonna have like a sheer front situation, and like I have these iron-on hibiscus flower, not hibiscus. I'm sorry, hydrangea flowers that I want to have down the side, and it's a whole thing. So that's again down the line, maybe next year. But there's so many ways you can burlesquify.
It's just the vintage glamour crossover, right?
Exactly.
And
That's
like,
it.
The
Yeah.
theatricality. I mean, that's what we always do whenever we do the fantasy things. Like,
Oh, yeah.
maybe everyone's keeping their clothes on, but it's that same vibe at the beginning of an act.
Exactly. So again, it's all for me. It all boils down to vintage glamour. Again, I'm more of a classic burlesque kind of girl, so very much like your feathers, your rhinestones, a boa, like a thing, a little downbeat in the music. But even if you're like not so much like a classic burlesque person, or you're more like neo burlesque, which has a little more of a cerebral. It's a whole. And I wish you guys could see Andrea's face.
I'm just out here being a suburban mom.
And others are doing
This is
neo
why,
burlesque.
this is why my friends, I need my friends.
Yeah. Like neo burlesque is like that'd be another show to break down like the facets of burlesque.
Yeah.
But classic is what your Dita Von Teese
Sure, yeah.
does. So like again, I love that. So many of the charm patterns can be utilized to give a burlesqueified thing. It's like again, throwing on a sequin or a rhinestone or like boiling down to the type of fabric. Like even the Rita blouse could be just like sheer, like again, like there's a little sheer action.
Yeah, everyone needs rip-away snap tape.
Yes,
And
exactly.
rhinestone pasties.
Rhinestone pasties.
Yes.
A full separating zipper. Like,
Tear away Wanda skirt.
a tassel.
Do just a little set of pasties for a pattern.
I love that.
Yes.
It's a circle with a dart in it.
Yes. That's going to be the bonus pattern for October.
Yeah.
I have a question
Yes.
for you that I've been wondering for a while.
Okay.
All right. So I know that when I used to model for Butterick, they would sometimes choose photos of myself that I just hated. You know how we're also particular about photos of ourselves?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I always choose your photos. And
Right.
I think they're the most gorgeous of you. I mean, all of your photos are gorgeous, but those are always my favorites, the ones that I pick or that
Right.
show the garment the best.
Right.
But I wonder, like, do I ever choose a photo that you're like, not that one?
Every now and again. That's not so much I'm like, well, how dare? Because I understand, like, the garment needs to be the best.
Yeah.
But it's more so me being critical. I'm like, oh, my face looks stupid there. But that's me being critical, or I'm like, oh, I don't love. So, fun fact, guys, I'm not a fan of the left side of my face. So,
So you
because I'm
lead with
like,
the right.
I'm a little snaggletooth-y, so like I get a little.
I love your teeth.
Everybody always says that, and it's so funny. And I'm like, you guys are insane. But again, that proves we all have our things that we feel a way about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have made that face like that. But I never get up in arms about it because I'm like, we're showing the garment, like, so it's fine. Like, yeah, I am a mannequin. I never like grossly offended, like, how
dare
could
she?
So I'm just like, oh, okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
You're very concerned about that too. You're like, oh, is this one okay? Is this?
I know. Like, I know. I really, because we always get so many good shots.
We take a lot, and a lot are really amazing.
Like hundreds of shots.
Yes.
Per shoot on a light shoot day.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like often there's just like an embarrassment of riches. Like, did I want to see 50 photos of Susan looking incredible in garment? Because we could make that happen. But I get really in my head about it, you know. For everyone's photos, for my own, for yours, I want it to be the best. So I'll narrow it down to like 3, and then I make Andrea come over. Some days I don't make a single decision without Andrea weighing in. 1, 2, or 3.
1, 2, or 3, and like sometimes they only have slight variation.
I know.
Right. And like, it's like a little flip book, and I'm like, okay, no, 2's gone. Okay, 1 or 3, 1 or 3. You know, we just go back.
We go back and forth, and that's how we do it.
That's how the magic happens.
Yeah. You have heard it here first.
I would love to end with, a lot of people always say that you're like a ray of sunshine, right? That's, I think, the most common way that people describe you. I know we're embarrassing you so much today.
I know. You really are, though. Just lovely.
Yeah. So, like, I just feel like you cultivate a lot of confidence in your Susie Dahl persona. And when you model, you are like incredibly confident. And obviously you're taking your clothes off now as an entertainment form. Could you like give people some tips for being confident or feeling their most glamorous? Like, where would you start?
I think I would say that it's important to realize that there is no one like you. Like, no one else can move the world like you're able to. No one's able to offer the same things you're able to. And I think that is the biggest building block, you know, regardless of what you might see in the media. I know it sounds so cliche because we're like inundated with all of these very homogenous images of, you know, people who are changing their appearance to look like everybody else. And again, definitely no shade to plastic surgery because, you know, every now and again I'm like, maybe I should get lip filler. But that's a little something.
It's just on my forehead.
But again, you are able to offer what you have. Everyone is so special, and that's something you deserve to cultivate. Whether it is like your thing is you love Star Wars and you make your pieces with Star Wars fabrics, and that's kind of your jam, that brings you joy, and that helps to foster community with other like-minded fans. Or you are a comic book nerd, romance book reading, sassy pants who like uses glamour kind of as a shield. Like that's your thing as well. So
Maybe,
like
perhaps.
maybe. Not
For
speaking
instance.
about anyone in particular, but the confidence in knowing that there's no one like you is the building block to presenting yourself the way you want to the world.
Oh, I really needed to hear that today. I'm having like I've been in like a full like comparing myself to other designers spiral. And it's true. Like, I think if we just focus on like, what am I bringing to this world? You know, wherever I'm trying to succeed, like I can't replicate someone else's success, right? So just focusing on what you are bringing as a person. There's no one else like you. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, going back to burlesque, feeling like, oh, I'm not this sort of body type, and I might not get booked at certain locations because I don't look a certain way, but there is a facet of people who love what I bring to the table, and I have to remember that that's also important, and not to get caught up in the comparisons, because that can make you insane. Like,
Yes. Yes. I am an example.
Yeah, this is like this should be titled like Sage Advice with Susie Dahl.
Sage. Oh my,
Just like strong,
Sage
important.
advice with Susie Dahl.
I love it. Well, Susie, thank you so much for doing this with us. This has been like really fun, and you're not only a model for us, but obviously you're a very dear friend now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just love having you as a part of our community.
The biggest blessing has been getting to know you both and counting you both as very dear friends. And this was definitely an amazing time, but as always it is. So I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Susie.
And thank you, Millie.
Millie has been ridiculous throughout this entire session. She's been like full laying on the computer.
Yes. She's like, oh, this is a nice place to lay my little weary head.
And Andrea, thank you for co-hosting with me as
well,
always.
a pleasure. I love getting to talk with you and Susie whenever
It's always fun.
It's
Yes.
always fun.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you next time. Goodbye. Well, hello again, and thank you so much for joining me. That's it for this installment of Talk Gertie to Me. If I had to guess, I'd probably say this episode included a lot of fashion and pop culture references, some of which are best enjoyed in a more visual medium. So be sure to check the show notes for images and links.